Welcome to the program. Consumer confidence in the largest economy in the world, the US, has dropped to its lowest level in 4 months in December. Guess why? The fiscal cliff is still there. No deal has so far been reached. That, coupled with the fact yet again the debt is hitting the ceiling in the United States, this could lead to dire consequences for the global economy, let alone the United States. Let's talk now to Patrick Young, co-author of The Gathering Storm. We've got him on broadband. Good to see you, Patrick. So how bad do you think it's going to get, if not in January, but in the first quarter of 2013?
Well, the situation is incredibly perilous. I mean, think about the history of American debt. 3 decades ago, America owed the world about $908 billion. Now, that may sound like a big number, but bear in mind at the moment it's borrowing $100 billion every single month. The total debt in America is roughly $15 trillion. I mean, that's the sort of amount of money that if you put the notes end to end, you get most of the way towards Mars. It's an absolutely outrageous amount of money, and the problem we've got is you've got politicians who are still in Never Never Land. Mr. Obama is wanting to actually extend the amount of money that America can manage to borrow. It's a bit like giving a drunk more vodka, as I've often said. And at the same time, you've got the Republicans who are suddenly wanting to have total fiscal responsibility from actually having abrogated their own responsibility for many years. This is a very, very perilous situation.
Now, how far do you think can Congress still push the debt ceiling up? Will we see ratings cut again for the US if we do see another hike?
Oh, look, I mean, in the course of the last, early 2011, there was about 14.3, something like that, billion dollars. They've expanded it by another couple of trillion, since then. There is bound to be a repercussion if America does not get its debt habit in order. It's the same with any addict, and America is addicted to debt. The government needs to be under control. The United States of America, the greatest capitalist economy we've ever seen in the history of the world, but unfortunately it's being governed by people who think that government spending is the best way forward. And well, we've seen enough collapsed communist regimes to understand that central planning just does not work.
Okay, when it comes to the fiscal cliff that we're about to hit in around 4 days, do you think there's still a chance we will see a deal between Obama and the Republicans, and will that change anything?
Well, let's put it this way. If there isn't a deal in 4 days' time, it demonstrates the fact that the American political classes have got no idea what their fundamental job is. President Clinton campaigned one election twice on, "It's the economy, stupid." Now, President Obama, the Republican leaders, need to appreciate that right now they have got 96 hours to save the freedom of the United States of America, because if they go over the fiscal cliff, it could be tragically catastrophic for every citizen of the world, not just the United States of America, which is likely to be instantly plunged into a severe recession.
Okay, so since you're saying every citizen in the world is going to be affected, what's your outlook for the fate of Russia, for example, and other BRIC countries?
Well, of course, Russia, other BRIC countries, emerging markets, they do have automatic stabilizers. For one thing, the Russian government doesn't spend remotely as much as a proportion of GDP as the United States of America. They could actually borrow a little bit more to try and cushion things. Certainly, there are energy exports that Russia can manage to make, which should keep it going. But nonetheless, if American consumers stop buying, then that's going to cause the rest of the world to catch a cold, because it's going to be much more difficult for exporters in Russia, in India, in China, in Brazil, in Poland, where I am today, to find a marketplace for their goods, because the world's biggest consumer is at this point in time, as you correctly said, on the verge of a complete consumer drought in confidence.
All right. Patrick, you sound very agitated when we were about to head into 2013. What's your New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution is certainly to try and make sure that I don't emulate the Western governments. I'm trying very hard to make sure that I minimize my debt, to find a way forward. There are great things out there. There is an incredible rosy future. I don't want viewers to go away pessimistic, but we have to be realistic. The American government is fundamentally irresponsible, and it's the largest actor in the global economy. However, I'm optimistic. Nanotechnology, something which Russia is very good at, all manners of bioscience, all sorts of possibilities in agriculture, multiple possibilities within the world of IT. I'm very optimistic about those. The difficulty is, can we really afford to leverage ourselves on those opportunities right now? I doubt it, because we need to be fiscally sound. And therefore, right now, I'm trying to save my money and look and see what's ahead, because I believe the opportunities around the corner are going to be incredible. But first, it could be a very dangerous quarter.
Okay, well, I hope the US government will hear this resolution of yours. Thank you very much, Patrick Young, co-author of The Gathering Storm.